So, good afternoon, everybody. And just start out just looking backwards for a few seconds here, and then we'll move on to this game. But as I said Saturday night, it was good to get the win first and foremost, and I think just overall pleased with the guys' preparation. Thought our guys were focused and certainly gave great effort. And really, it was the first time we've gone through obviously game competition, live work, and various situations that come up. So. Thought there were a lot of good things, certainly a lot of things to clean up. Special teams overall played pretty well for the first time out. Thought we tackled pretty well, and the tempo of the offensive line, the tempo they played at was a good start for us. So a lot of things there, certainly a lot of things to get better at, and now the whole idea is to push to improve, and like it is every week basically. So, Monday morning, just shift our attention fully to this football game and start our preparation. Captains will be the same four guys. We got Ethan Herkett, Cohen Entriger on the defensive side, and then Logan Jones and Mark Karnowski, offensively. Medically, kind of where we stood Saturday night. Moulton will not be able to play. Kamari, don't see him playing. Vanderzee will be out. And Bryce George, who got injured in pregame, he'll be out too. So I don't see those guys having a chance to play. Iowa State, obviously, off to a really strong start in two very different situations, but looked impressive in both of them. First game playing against a very good Big 12 team in Kansas State. Really good game, competitive game, and Iowa State did a great job handling that. And then traveling back here, some people I know are worried about the jet lag, all that stuff, and it didn't seem to affect them. They played really well Saturday against South Dakota, so they're off to a really good start and not a big surprise. They're a really good football team, worthy of their ranking for sure. And, I think just overall, just a really well-coached team. They're good where it counts and veteran where it counts, and really, I think, strong in all three phases. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Offensively, they're really veteran, deep in the offensive line, 7-8 guys that have played a lot of football for them. The quarterback, obviously, he's played a lot of football and winning football, good football, and the big part of them winning is his performance. They've got good backs, veteran backs that really run tough, really strong at the tight end positions, I think you know, and lost 2 NFL receivers last year, but seem to have guys coming right along that are very, very capable there. Defensively, not as many returning starters, but a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, and a couple of guys that we'll see Saturday didn't play against us over the last 2 years, injuries, what have you. But a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. It's a tough scheme to prepare for. They're really aggressive, tackle well, so don't give up easy plays. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. And then special teams, they're an outstanding special teams group as well. You get really good specialists in this game, 2 good punters, obviously 2 good field goal kickers and good return guys on both sides. So, and both teams, I think, work hard at that. So, good matchup that way. Kid captain is James Hall, a 5-year-old from Dyersville, home of the Haight brothers. And he's when he was 1 year old, he was diagnosed with 2 very unusual brain tumors, very unusual, and went through chemo and radiation down here, treatment and steroid treatment on top of that. So got to ring the bell in 22, but unfortunately the tumors reappeared. So he's going through ongoing treatment right now, as active as possible as a kindergarten, and we're going to be thinking about him and his family certainly over the weekend. And then just in conclusion, it's our first road game, obviously a big challenge for us. I want to take one second and just give credit to our state. For a state of our size, to have 2 programs that are really strong programs, I think is really a credit to everybody involved. And I think a tip of the hat to certainly our high school football here. Both of our teams have a high percentage of guys on the roster from the state of Iowa, and I think it really speaks to the coaching, the high school programs, which have always been strong in this state. But I think everybody can be really proud of that fact. And just again, shifting back to the game, it's going to be, my guess is a close game. Last 5 games have been separated by 4 points on the average. So it's kind of indicative of this series, 2 good teams, and we're going to have to certainly be at our best to have a chance in this one going on the road. So that's where we're at right now, and I'll throw it out for questions.
Hey, Chad Leistico, Des Moines Register. How accurate is the perception that teams make their most growth from week 1 to week 2? Is that adage accurate in your experience, and what will it take? What do you see from your guys this week in that regard?
I think it can be, but it's not automatic. And like most things that happen, you have to make that happen, really. So, especially in our program, like historically, this has been a big month for us, not just this week, but a big month for us in terms of development. And we're probably a little bit alike, both our teams are. And that, you got some guys playing now that maybe haven't played. They've played football, but not in the roles they're playing. And we certainly have a lot of those types of guys. So getting on the field, having that first game experience is really critical. And then if you take something out of that and learn from it, just how to prepare better, and then certainly compete better on Saturday, hopefully you're taking a step forward. And that's really the biggest goal, I think, for all of us right now. And hopefully we'll take that step, but I think it really gets back to how you practice, how you prepare, the time that you invest. And big difference from this week and last is, at least for our first opponent this year, we're looking at a bunch of film that really isn't, you wonder how pertinent it is. Whereas, Iowa State's got an identity, so anything you see on them, even from last year, it's gonna have value. And then, we kind of know their roster. They kind of know ours, too, just because of the familiarity over the years.
Owen Sebring, KGAN. I'm going to jump in early with a non-football question, but this morning George Raveling died. I don't know if...
oh, gosh, no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I wondered, he was obviously here when you were O-line coach. I wondered if your paths crossed very much, or if you had any anecdotes or anything to share about him.
Yeah, I've got his book in my office, actually. It was given to me this past year. I'm anxious to read it. People that knew him better just say what an amazing human being he was, first and foremost, and did a lot of really neat things in his lifetime. I know there's a lot of stuff in there that I'm curious to read. Got a stack of stuff right now. I'm not doing a lot of reading at this point, at least on the different topics. But the first thing I'll just cherry pick, or give you one. When I think of George Raveling, one thing I think of is there's a young man, Brian Jones, who's in the media, and I typically see him at the Big Ten Media Days. He visited here. He ended up going to UCLA, a young guy from Texas, high school player from Texas. And Coach Raveling spent a significant time with him. It was like a 45-minute visit with him, and then sent about a 2-page letter that I got a copy somewhere. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of